Now, this is a contentious decision on the basis of this for this project, and the reason why it's contentious is because this, in the eventual published version of chamber music, was the 21st poem. Stanislaus Joyce had decided that this was a hinge or a kind of a lyric on which the whole narrative of the sequence would turn, and therefore had placed it towards the middle or about 2/3 of the way through. But in Joyce's original sequence, which he'd given to Sylvia Beach, this was the first and came first in sequence. And the reason is that it's a crucially important poem for the entire sequence, because it introduces so many different themes in it. He who hath glory lost. Glory, or the loss of glory, is one of the great themes of Irish literature of the 19th century, a literature of aftermath, of various opportunities lost and gone, all the way back to the Act of Union, all the way through the famine, and up to the death of Parnell in the 1890s. And indeed, Parnell comes in again at the end of the poem as one of the models for that high unconsortable one. The high unconsortable one is, I suppose, the poet of the sequence. But of course that poet in that sequence is connecting himself with all kinds of lonely people, all kinds of people who have been rejected and left behind. One of those people was Parnell, but we can go all the way back to Dante, I think, if we're thinking about the intellectual somehow in exile, somehow removed from power and of influence. Of course, these are larger political and historical resonances, but this is a love poem, and it reduces all of these resonances into the last line. His love is his companion. Joyce's friends, whenever they discovered that he was going out with a servant girl from Galway, Nora Barnacle, the woman with whom he was to spend the rest of his life, used to joke, his love is his companion. That it's all very well to have a companion who's usually male, but you shouldn't really trade that companion in for a woman. Joyce, of course, who was always exceedingly unusual and different in his the way in which he lived his own life, chose Nora over any of these, this fast set in Dublin. So his love is his companion was a decision to cleave to the loved one and to leave all those other companions behind.